can't do it without raising taxes. Yes, he has to raise taxes, but he doesn't let you know he can't actually raise the taxes. Listen. Let's just start this over. Let's start it over so you hear it, and I won't interrupt it, I promise.
Let's dig into that, because you start talking about a rent freeze, you're talking about free buses, you're talking about free childcare. Can you do that without raising taxes?
I think you can do that, and I think you have to raise taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers who make more than $1 million a year, and you do that by raising taxes by them 2%.
We got to talk about New York and what's getting ready to happen. He's going to pop people's bubbles because they have no clue who they just voted to take them to the cleaners.
And then you also increase the corporate tax of New York State to match that of New Jersey. So that takes us from about 7.25 to about 11.5%, which is what we see in New Jersey. These things together raise about $9 billion, which more than pays for our economic agenda and also starts to Trump-proof our state.
But are you worried that could drive a lot of job creators out of New York?
So what I've heard from a number of business leaders is that the affordability crisis is also affecting their ability to attract and retain talent. The city's inability to provide childcare means that businesses often have to provide stipends for that childcare. Right now, the absence of universal childcare means that a family will pay around $22,500 a year, which is more money than many of them would spend if they sent that same kid to college 18 years later.
You notice how he talks about the taxpayers costing all this money for child care, and that the corporate companies have to give them a stipend for child care, but yet he's willing to raise corporates' taxes up to like 11% or something like that, plus a 2% raise, tax raise on the wealthiest people there that make $1 million or over. I mean, come on, really? And the people that make $100,000 and under, they don't believe that he's going to tax them, that he's going to start collecting money off of them, because everything on his agenda has to be paid for by somebody, not the federal government, but his own people that voted him in, because the rich are not going to pay for that.
You know, there were a few months ago where I told supporters across this city to stop donating. And today I am asking them to start once again. And I am asking them to do so because of the fact that a transition that can meet the moment of preparing for January 1st is one that will require staff, it will require research, it will require infrastructure. And those are things that we will have to provide. And I'm excited for the fact that it will be funded by the very people who brought us to this point, the working people who have been left behind by the politics of this